Today is December 2nd, 2024. The year 2024 will end in less than a month. And last year, the whole year, I said to myself, it will be this year. Then this year, I didn't say that too much because I realized how difficult it is. And when time is right, things will all click together. And what I noticed about trading is that uh, today, especially, what I noticed is this. If I were to run a marathon between now and all the way to the finish line, which is 26.2 miles or something like that, that means that I have to be exposed to the elements until I get to the finish line, which is even to the fastest person, it's at least 2 hours to go from the start to the end in a marathon. But within that time, it only takes one mistake. It takes one mistake to an instantaneous one mistake. It takes only one mistake to erode any chances of moving forward. So essentially, when I buy a prop firm challenge, it starts at the starting line, and then I move forward halfway. Okay, halfway is essentially finishing the phase one, and then I get to close to the finish line. That's going to be phase two, and then at the stage of funded, essentially I finished the finish line, but anything could happen at that moment to cause, even after finishing, that there's no guarantee that I'll be making money from the market. Essentially, that's what it means. And so the more of trading is this: it takes an enormous amount of effort to get funded, and even more effort to get a payout. But it only takes one mistake. It only takes one mistake and everything is eroded. So when I pay $65 for a 10K prop firm challenge, it only takes one mistake to lose that challenge. But it takes hundreds of trades. Okay, it takes hundreds of trades for me to go from the start line to the finish line to passing the phase two. But if I just make one mistake, then account is blown. That's how it happens. Breaching a rule, forgetting about the stop loss, trying to go for too much and not selling and it drops below. And then, or the other rule, there are recently what I've discovered are these two rules. I was able to maneuver around the max loss and the now that I have become a little bit better, what I managed to do is avoid max loss and then avoid the daily loss. Okay, to a certain degree, but I still have those issues. But what I'm now running into is having this consistency rule plus this high frequency trading rule where if I click and I forget to not, if I forget about the 15-second rule, I'd immediately click, causing me to fail, essentially. So if I double click something, I'm done. It's over. Okay, so I have to constantly remember that 15-second rule. That 15-second rule, and also I have to remember this minimum 2-minute rule. And once I remember this thing, it'll essentially be very similar to the other prop firms. The thing that I'm emphasizing right now, which cost me over $2,000, over $2,000 to become aware of this thing called the 15-second rule, which is required for the high to avoid a high frequency trading rule breach. And the other is making sure that I stagger these trades so that when one trade or two trades are made, that any single trade thesis does not exceed a loss of 2%. That has cost me a dear amount of money. It cost me a lot. But it only takes one mistake. It takes just one mistake, one click. I'm see the interesting is I have to make sequence of hundreds of good trades. Okay? I have to make hundreds of good trades mixed in with bad trades, but I have to make hundreds of good trades in order for me to pass, but it only takes one mistake. It only takes one mistake. And it's over. Just one mistake.